Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello, it is Farmer Ben once again, back with the outrageous British accent and other things. It's been a little while since I did a video. To be honest, I've been very busy at work, which is a very strange situation to find myself in. And not entirely pleasant, I must admit. It's much nicer not having to work too hard. But there we go, let's not dwell on that. At the moment, as you can see, I'm just doing a bit of crafting. At the moment, I seem to have plenty of food and iron. Tend to have more food and iron when I don't have the VIP packs, because obviously the iron runs out a lot more quickly then. Just going to make a load of those for the next challenge event. They're always handy. I do store them up, which is something I always do. Keep farming. I have been asked to try and do a video about starting out in the game, sort of tips for startups. I did try on this phone to log in and do a, like, I don't know what you'd call it, an intro to the game. Like this is to go right back to the beginning of the game to show you the sort of key things at the very beginning, because it's quite hard to sort of reflect on the key things at the very beginning from where I am now. Unfortunately, I couldn't get my phone to do it. I'm not quite sure why. It kept coming back to this sort of this stage where obviously I've got my fully developed base and everything else. Now you'll see that I've temporarily joined, well, I say temporarily, I've temporarily, at least for a little while, joined this alliance. This is the Big Lebowski, PNB3. So the Pinky and the Brain family is kind of made up of 3 alliances now. This is the 3rd alliance, PNB3. PNB1, of course, Pinky and the Brain. PNB2, Pinky's Narflings. And PNB3 is the Big Lebowski. And I'm sort of offering, recruited for all of them. Pinky and the Brain is, in theory, the lead alliance. It's the most sort of serious and competitive one. The Big Lebowski is meant to be a little bit more chilled out. There's some very strong players here, as you can see, but they're not. It's not perhaps quite as driven as Pinky the Brain was, and it's a very, we've got a strong team. There's a bit less sort of pressure, if you miss the Titan once in a while, it's not such a big issue, and so on and so forth. So we try and keep this one a little bit more laid back. That's the master plan anyway. And PNB2, which is the Pinky's Narflings, which is where I was a little while ago, is the Training Alliance. The Training Alliance was fun because the wars were really, really easy a lot of the time. Anyway, the main purpose of this video, I haven't done one for a little while, and because there doesn't seem to be an enormous amount happening on the game, generally speaking, I am going to do a war attack. Now, normally I would attack their lead, because I like knocking out the team leader, but their team leader's already been hit, and I would prefer to, target a strong opponent. Let's see, they look, they're pretty strong. It's not going to be an easy battle. These ones rarely are. I will go with my strongest green team. Obviously, I have to be aware that my greens need to be spread fairly thin because of the amount of enemy heroes there may be. I'm going to go with a yellow chucked in there as well, and a red, because actually I'm going to put my red in here. So I'll put Kagan. Kagan is one of those heroes because he boosts people either side of him. He's worth having set up just with heroes either side, so don't put him right on a flank. The rest of them, it doesn't really matter so much when I'm attacking. I meant to check the enemy's info before I did that, so I just hope they haven't got. I hope I've chosen the right team. I would always recommend checking before you attack. Yes, if they'd had A gear, it's always worth taking a few extra debuffers for A gear, because you can. His special skill, if you debuff him, is not anything like as dangerous. Having a think. So that was a nice opening sort of salvo. Now, however, there's very few greens or yellows on the screen, which is quite frustrating, but there we go. Lots of blues, which I can get at least clear. The downside with the blues, of course, is all I'm doing is feeding mana to my opponents, which is really annoying, and I don't want to be doing that. I will probably stop Aslar for now, try to get him to stop going off. It's a little bit risky, but I'm going to blow the blue gem, which will trigger at least a small combo, getting rid of some of the purples as well. Downside is, as I say, it's not what I need. What I urgently need now is some greens. Complete lack of greens on the screen, which is really annoying. When you get a screen like this, it is the disadvantage of being sort of fairly heavily colour stacked. but it is also a bit of a joke. I mean, you just watch all the tiles coming on and there's not one green one amongst them. Mother North is dead, which probably means I will lose this, which is annoying. And there we are, Aslar's gone off, so now my guys are all going to burn. And it's really frustrating because you can see that even after that sort of very encouraging start where I killed Isania pretty quickly, I just don't get any green tiles to sort of turn things around. And I'm going to hit Flee here. Now, this is a tactical retreat. This is basically on the theory that even if I hit them, I'm not going to kill anyone. I'm not going to weaken them significantly, and then Kunshan will go off and undo the damage that I've done. So this is a tactical retreat to earn slightly more points than if I carried on my attack, in theory anyway. So there we go. So that was frustrating, actually. That was really annoying. Still, never mind. Let's move on. So we're going to next go for Mnuka. Another sort of strong enemy team. Aegir is a tank. I'm going to hit this guy with my mainly blue team. I will take a red again because obviously it's nice to have a red, and I will go for a green because I always recommend it's worth having at least one that is sort of strong against the tank, and it's going to be another debuffer. So, and my healer, of course, Melindor there. So in we go. We'll see if we have a little bit more luck. Certainly couldn't have much less in terms of tile colour, but there we go. It's not looking encouraging. Oh, that's depressing. This is one of these checkerboard screens, by which I mean there's loads of there's no combos or anyway get things moving. Although then it's triggered a massive combo at least. So let's not be too despondent. There we go. Ooh, look at that! Blimey, it's still going. Totally random, but yeah, that was quite an effective combo. I have to admit. I am going to hit them with Elena. Boom, boom, boom. I am going to blow the red thing. This was one where I thought the screen was really going to mess me up, and actually it has definitely played out quite well in my favour. Next task is obviously to kill off, what's his name? Alberich, because I don't want him undoing all my hard work. So he is my targeted enemy, even though he is... he's in some ways Gravemaker is as or more dangerous. Very good hero, Gravemaker. If you have him, I would obviously thoroughly recommend using him. And then Poseidon's going to probably largely kill himself. There we go. He's killed himself altogether. So there we go. So that was lucky. But to be fair, it was just that ridiculously lucky combo at the beginning there. It was almost the exact opposite. I know it was me saying it wasn't a very good screen. So there we go. Can't complain at that one. Now let's see. Ooh. Oh, it's that one. She's pretty dangerous. Oh, let's go for it. I can't think of her name. She's the new, fairly recent Hero of the Month. So this is going to be my yellow team, or yellowish team, maybe. My healer there is, what's her name? I will go for a red, because I find it's worth trying to just fit in a red, because I won't colour stack red against them at any point. Leave my purple attack team for round 2. Ding, ding. Elkanon there, just to... So my team is pretty strong. I would have thought they're slightly more powerful than me in team power, but it's a reasonable team. So we didn't get any Atlantean heroes in 3 summons. That sounds like my kind of luck. Sorry, standard thought of thoughtful humming. Let's go with that. Then if I go, let's hope this will trigger at least a small... not ideal. Right, as always, getting that combo moving is kind of the aim, but it's not going to happen here. Boom! They're all drowning. I know her damage over time is pretty horrendous, which is part of the reason I took my yellow team, because Vivica undoes all the sort of damage over time moves. Unfortunately, of course, her attack is... her attack is painfully slow, and they'll all be dead before she actually gets her ass out and gets her act together and does anything. Yeah, there we go. They're all dead. Freaking heck. Still, never mind. Yeah, so annoyingly, Vivica just way too slow sometimes. At least we killed their tank. That's something. I think that's all I'm going to get on this one. Their Vivica, whose mana always seems to be somehow a lot quicker than mine, will go off next. I can't even. God, I can't even see him move. Well, let's go for this. I don't want to hit there Vivica and give her a ton of mana if I can help it. Oh, at least that's... Yeah, there we go. That killed another hero. That was good. I don't think... I think this is probably one that's worth fleeing again. So I'm going to tactically withdraw again, because if I hit Bold Tusk with those green tiles, which are just sort of stacked underneath in there, that'll be weak. So that won't help me out. If I hit Vivica with anything, it'll just boost her mana. So either way, I'll probably fill up the mana of one of their healers. And if I do that, I've essentially... then their healing will undo the little bit of damage that I've already done. Although, to be fair, I've already done a tiny bit of damage. Let's risk it. I'm going to go for this move. So green's down the middle. Now, it is then going to be a case of hit Vivica. Do as much damage as I can. Vivica and Bold Tusk will both go off in the next turn. Though I'm going to flee. I'm going to flee with as much damage done as I can. It will be more useful for my team, and obviously with any kind of war attacks, it's a team game. So I've weakened up a couple of teams. Not a successful war start for me at all, but at least I've helped out my team. So hopefully it's left some gaps for them to fill up, to take out. Which is always, you've got to remember it's a team game. If you can take out a tank, it's always very valuable, especially when the enemy have, as these guys have essentially done, colour stacked, all gone for the same colour of tank. By removing a tank, you just sort of open up a team to be hit without break down the colour stacking that is up against you. Ooh, the Atlantis thing is disappearing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bing. There we go. Does that mean Atlantis is over? Atlantis Rising's over? Possibly. Lost track a little bit. Which days everything's on anymore. Season 2. Still Atlantis Rising? Not Atlantis Rising anymore. No, still another day of Atlantis Rising. So maybe it'd be another offer on. Anyway, there we go. So it is... and I don't want to go there. It is time for me to say thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe to this video. I hope there were some useful little tips in there. Particularly there, I think this one is kind of like... I'll probably call this video Tactical Retreat, because... I think that's really was probably the most effective thing I did in those wars. How to always make sure you get some points in an alliance war, which is worth doing. So yes, remember to like and subscribe. Remember to click on the little bell thingamy-bob, wherever that is. Remember to do all the other things YouTubers always tell you, and comments and such are gratefully received. Yes, just remains for me to say, may death come swiftly to your enemies. This is Farmer Ben saying goodbye, good night, and au revoir.